everyone, I am Olive Blade and welcome to my Wonderland. For those who know me, you know I do not like to be negative. Disclaimer, which it's pretty obvious this is going to be a massive rant because I'm very upset and devastated like anyone else who buys a product and it has a defect. On a small related tangent, I have to mention, because I want to make everyone I can aware of this, a concerning article which the user has graciously shared on both my figure collection and Reddit. I'm sure some of you have already read it already. To summarize, I'll link it in the description so you can refer to the notes, especially regarding the particular figures. But to summarize, certain Good Smile Company and Alta figures are 6 that have been consistently reported for showing early signs of paint deterioration. You would normally not see deterioration until a lot of years later while in a collection, but these figures have been barely out for 6 months or even under 6 months. So I'll show you the example above because I'm concerned because I have this figure that I haven't reviewed yet, and this is the Sakura Miku, the latest one, and I also have a Mau Mau figure coming from Good Smile Company, the Blue Rose. So I'm concerned, I hope that isn't affected, and well, neither of them. But that being said, it doesn't mean it can't be affected once you have it out on the shelf storing. Apparently it's been reported over different locations, environments. I can't confirm that, but that's what the article says. And here are some pictures. It looks like light bruising or almost like dirt's been smeared. Apparently that is paint deterioration, which is just absolutely appalling considering how much these figures cost. Not to mention the extra for Australia, like GST, extra taxes and import fees we collectors put out just to get these beautiful figures we love into the country. I actually almost cancelled this Sakura Miku pre-order. It's not because I don't love it. I love the design and I'm hoping that mine is okay. That being said, I feel like it's already been tainted by other collector's misery of having her already for 6 months and having these issues. I'm just devastated for you. Due to unfortunate personal circumstances, I've had to cancel some of my pre-orders this year, so I would hate that if I had this issue with this figure, one that I chose to keep over others I could have gotten. That is just going to be personally devastating, I guess. But we'll see, and fingers crossed. But I won't lie, I don't like the chances. One of the pre-orders I cancelled actually was a Good Smile, and that was this Albedo lingerie version. It's because I had concerns that they weren't going to do her justice. Even though her prototype, this is the live prototype, looks gorgeous, and you've got to keep in mind that they do photo editing or just very good lighting. But these 2 pictures from my fig collection, I hope the users don't mind me using these pictures, illustrates that they weren't able to just, I don't think, do justice. She doesn't look as soft or as beautiful as the prototype presents itself. Even with the magnificent job Night Shifter did here, I still think the figure just lacks, unfortunately. I feel like I've seen more blushing on a prize figure of Albedo than this scale, which is 250 AUD dollars, not including taxes and postage I was going to pay for this to come into the country. When you compare it to other figures in the same price range, Good Smile have really done Albedo dirty. For me personally, I'm glad I didn't pick this up. The pop-up parade, the last one which I will talk about later on in the video, and then now this Nendoroid. Now getting to the main issue at hand, and that is for me the Albedo dress version number 2604 by Good Smile Company, of course. And yes, it is not the box, which I'm so glad the community fought back and got us back the last generation box, which is my favorite. So bring in a little audience for us, shall we? Because I will refer to them when we go through the video. This is the second time I'm reshooting an unboxing of this because the first one I seemed way too happy and all that happiness just drained when I got to the end of the box and I tried on the stand. And look at this. I am just, why? I'm sure you are just as annoyed as me. Why do they keep advertising the easel stands? I have not managed to get my hands on any, and they only have the Nendoroid dolls available, which I saw some poor person buy 5 sets thinking they were Nendoroid normal size bases, and then was trying to sell them on Facebook Marketplace for weeks just because they saw them in stock and they quickly ordered them and they thought they were the wrong one, and I just felt so sorry for them. And I haven't seen them in stock on Good Smile Company. And then recently, I wish I saved the screenshot I showed my friends, like, are you serious? On Ami pre-owned section, I saw these easel stands listed for, in Australian dollars, 37 Australian dollars for a pre-owned easel stand set. I don't even know if it came in the original packaging because you'd think people would throw it away. And that's not even including GST and postage, so it would probably have been over $50 if I was to buy it. And someone did buy it, so I hope they were from a country that they didn't get all those terrible charges from, because that just seems ridiculous for an extra thing. And ironically, that is what I need for this. Look at this. You can see how I've packed it. Also, the other stand I pulled out there, I actually tried to find a secondhand base on Buyee that I could use for this figure, but unfortunately I didn't look at it too closely and I bought a 2nd generation instead of a 3rd generation. It does not work, unfortunately. There you go. I tried to fix it. This video has been in the making for quite a few goes already. I decided to finally message Good Smile Company, their global store, on the 7th of June. I did not get a reply, and so I've just messaged them again on the 4th of July because I checked their website. They currently have delays in other inquiries, but as far as defaults, they have no delays. So I was like, why? Like, I thought I'd give them an extra few weeks because they might be very busy, because I like to be understanding, especially when it comes to a hobby that I love and respect the companies of. That being said, I got replied to within the hour, even though it was on a Friday at the end of the day. Well, maybe I should start off with what I wrote. My first message I sent to them, unknowingly, I don't have a copy of, but you'll hear them referencing it. I talked about the figure kindly. I talked about how it does not work with the base and the issue, mentioning the particular parts of the stand. I bought this pack of extra stands. It's official Good Smile. None of these work on either albedos. And then I talked about how my current albedo stand does work on this figure. I didn't mention, but as I'll show you here, the pictures of this particular prototyped albedo includes the old stand design, and I did not question it coming with the new design because I figured that they would make it work. Yes, I mentioned those and kindly asked if they could suggest a solution, or if they could send me maybe one of the original, like the same albedo base, or just suggest something. Like, or maybe I was thinking the best scenario, they could send me an easel stand to fix this. But no, they did not reply. So I sent another email, and this is what I wrote. I previously sent an email on the 7th of June, screenshot attached. I would really appreciate an update if possible. I checked your website and it says no delays for defect inquiries. If some chance the inquiry got lost, I will explain again below. And here was a bit more short, of course. I have a defect with item Nendoroid such and such. Due to stand design, her feet are unable to touch the ground no matter how I've tried to position. Pictures attached. As a result, being top heavy, she falls off. And that's it. I don't think I could explain that any clearer. I'm sure you get it, and you'll see as I put this together. These are the pictures I attached. You can see, like, she's standing up straight. You cannot bend that anymore. And I digress. Let's read their reply. Dear customer, thank you for your inquiry. Please be advised that the support stands specification has been revised as of product scheduled for shipment in November 2024, basically meaning the new stand. Accordingly, support stands will no longer be included with items that were originally developed in 2017 and are released from November 2024 onward. Yes, that makes sense. For further information, kindly refer to, and they send a link to just basically the announcement of the new stand and what's changing and the net pegs in Nendoroids, which does not help. And then they put, the support stand is designed to be adjustable. We respectfully ask that you reposition the stand as necessary to avoid interference with the hair and ensure the figure is properly aligned and securely attached to the base. So, my dear viewers, let's see. Third attempt at me doing this. Let's see if I can fix this. As you can see, I'm already grating the back of the hair on this. And I will make this some detailed because I just want to point out to Good Smile, I cannot make this work, and I think it is appalling at the price point. If my memory serves me correct, I paid $68 for this figure, and that's not including postage and GST, and rounds up to just about almost $100 AUD that I spent to get this figure, and I can't even display her properly. So see how she's leaning forward, how it's a bit, I've put her up here so you can see that she is floating. There we are at the front. And that is if she's on the peg properly. There's no way to lean her forward, and she's doing like a full-on Matrix front Michael Jackson angle leaning forward, and you can hear me grating the hair there. It's just, there's not possible, but I digress. Let's see if we can make this work. I've also brought in some screwdrivers because I don't think loosening these joints are going to help, but let's try everything because I just want to show you that nothing I can do is going to change this. And yeah, anyway, so in comparison, this is the old Albedo Nendoroid, which I do love, but the base is so much better. I hate that this new base not only feels cheap, but just feels more limited. I know over the years of owning Good Smile products, especially Nendoroids and scales, the quality I've definitely felt has taken a huge dive, especially where it comes in with Nendoroids and scale figures. Particularly Nendoroids, though, I personally have had issues with, and I'm just showing because this is the latest Nendoroid I got, which was just after, and this is the Urza, and it shows that she was actually made for the base. Long-haired character, because you know I adore those. Like other Nendoroids that have new designs or multiple designs, they have definitely taken a lot from the original, but they have neglected to make it suitable for the new base, which I just think is appalling. And considering they were trying out the new box at this time, and I'm so glad we're going back to the normal ones, but you'd think they would have everything perfect, but no. And as you can see, the difference between the figures is just, and she's even falling off the stand here. I wasn't lying in my short-tempered email with Good Smile where I'm like, she will fall off, and it is a shame because she is, the figure itself, she is very well painted and sculpted, even though they didn't have to do much because they took copy and pasted, which I'll show later. But it's just a shame that this is the cheap bit that is just, I can't, and you can't display an Nendoroid. So here I am showing how to loosen. I have a small screwdriver here and I'm just loosening to see if by any chance I can push this down any further. Let's see if we can do that. But as you can see, I cannot even, because I've never had an issue with a Nendoroid. They always come perfect with the base. I can put them on straight away.
Loosening this one, will that go down backwards?
And here in voice, I mean, just to bring you into the moment, because I don't know what more I can do to make this work. This should work in accordance to Good Smile. And I think it's just appalling that why can't they include an easel stand that would not cost them, surely that would not cost them extra to comparison, and a normal stand that does work. Sure, Urza works on the new stand, still not a fan of it, but this figure can't. And they have not offered an alternative replacement for me to try.
Oops, come on. Yeah, see that loosen already does not help. Because even though I can push this down further, which you think maybe then I can push, no, I still can't push this down further. If I tried other ways, yes. This is a different way. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. I mean, unless you want to do... I don't think it can even reach unless you do it on the edge. Here we go. It didn't work. I mean, I've tried even if you put it on the corner. She's still doing the, I mean, that helps exaggerate it, the tilt forward.
And this is what us collectors just deal with sometimes, just the frustration, taking it slow and just trying to work it out. We're not idiots, and it just aggravates me that they think it is a user issue when I've provided...
That's what's ruining it for this figure, because it isn't made for this figure.
Precisely. I've provided photos. Well, if that doesn't work, hopefully this video might get through, but at the very least I'm just hoping to show everyone and yeah, just share my experience. I know I love seeing other collectors sharing the experience, negative and positive, and it's just, it is needed, especially at the moment. Regardless, it is a luxury product after all, to be able to collect things, and at the very least you want the best when you are paying top dollar for it.
You can turn her head as well.
Now try and see how beautifully she works in this face. And like in her prototype pictures, she was displayed on this face. Look how beautiful she is.
And the other side.
I could have been enjoying her like this for the past 6 months. But no, she's been stuck in a box. And yes, I could have come up with another solution how to display her. Could buy a bootleg off AliExpress or Temu, a cheap little stand to stick into this expensive figure or make it work, but it just defeats the point I think I'm trying to make here.
Now for some extra fun, I'm gonna take you off. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
This hurts so much.
I don't even want to put you on that stand.
There goes her torso.
Works.
So here I thought, well, let's try Urza's. So to see if maybe it is a stand issue.
Still same issue. But so
she is just not made for these stands.
She wasn't designed for it. See? And then you put it like that. You can move Urza around like this. So movability issue a little bit. Like so next I would like to address, so why do we have this beautiful cheeky woman here? Or feel good. So, if I may, my dear. Right. Now we can properly have a look. Look at these. Pop one out. Still not the most perfect design, but in comparison to this monstrosity.
To be fair, the initial Nendoroid of Albedo was released before the Jibril. She was like 600 and something, Jibril's about 700 and something, which makes sense that they would upgrade like this. But why would they downgrade if they did a new figure in over 1,000? Like this is now number over 2,000. I do not know why, and for the life of me it feels lower quality too. It's really hard to show you here, but the plastic doesn't feel as nice, and the replicated part is a lot thinner too. I don't know if you can see it, feels more cut off instead of smoothed. And here I've already damaged one of the new wings trying to put it in. See right near the tip, it's the plastic is white, and that's what you get for when you've stressed it too much. And this isn't intentional. And I have kept the little back peg that meant to keep the holes open on the figure so you could fit these in, but it does not help. I had to heat up the part here, and even just putting it in there, that as far as I could got, and you saw how easily it just fell off. And that is not ideal, because even heating up the part, like, you're going to damage it because it's such thin plastic. So here, just having a look at the different feet from the first design, it really does not feel like an upgrade at all when you expect the figure. Like, it's lovely dress part, but apart from that, what have they really done different? What's justifying paying for this other Albedo figure, which is just disappointing? You're just better off getting the first one, because it is, and as I can show you here, even the same wing issue, the hair isn't as nicely smoothed off. As a design choice, could be, I mean, if it worked on the base, I'd probably be a little bit more forgiving, but it just feels a bit lower quality. I do love the hair being a different color, and it being more purple is a nice change, but the sculpt is exactly the same. I would have liked it changed even slightly, just to make it feel like a bit more of a different piece. The rework of this just feels very, very lazy. Yes, she did get new face plates, which I love, the new dress, but that's about it. I just feel like that with this rework, with the little that they had to do in comparison to other Nendoroid designs, how could they screw up and the base does not fit? You can even see some shine there on her waist belt, and that is glue leaking out as well from where they've attached the parts not too cleanly. I've only seen one other collector on my figure collection who has put a picture up of the Albedo figure, and they also cannot display her on the base properly, which just shows, I'm pretty sure this is infecting everyone, so I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone else posting about it. So what am I going to do? I'm not too sure. I did see on Amazon that some easel stands came up for 27 AUD dollars. I haven't checked out the postage, and so I might pick that up if I feel, but I think it is ridiculous expected for me to pay almost, you know, half the value of the Nendoroid for a base. Like, surely it comes with 3 if I'm not buying hopefully a bootleg. I also need to note on the stand announcement on the Good Smile site, they put Good Smile Company aims to continue to renew the Nendoroid series to make it more user-friendly for all. At the end of the day, consumers with Nendoroids are buying a figure to expect to be able to pose it at the very least. That is one of the sole purposes of having a Nendoroid, and I'm a collector that I like to pose and display my Nendoroids and maybe change it every time I dust, or in a few months I like to change the pose, and I enjoy that. But I just feel sorry for, hopefully this is not going to be a recurring issue. I love watching other creatives make animations, doing awesome photography with these posable figures, but what use is it if you can't even have the basic tools to pose, or expected to pay an exorbitant amount just to get the proper tools to display? Also, I don't know if it's more lazy or just a design choice, but some of the newer Nendoroids, like the Mau Mau Garden Party, I'm not sure if it's affected other ones, but her fingers aren't defined in the sculpt and it just looks like a flesh glove, which I really do not like that design. I have her here and will be reviewing her soon, but it just, I'm not quite happy with the direction that Good Smile is going at the moment. And I'm sure there's many more examples, so please feel free to share your experiences in the comment, and also let me know if you think I should try contacting them again. As an experienced collector who owns over 15 Nendoroids by Good Smile, I have to say this is very off-putting for me, and I think if I was going into the hobby new and seeing a video like this, I would be very off-put by getting Nendoroids. So let's address some pop-up parades. These are some from my collection, obviously, and I had to include one of their first base versions, which is the second edition Urza. Quite cute. Obviously, simple detail. This is meant to be an affordable line, but still promises quality even though it's small, or that's what they originally promised. But as you can see, there is a clear difference in quality, such as this is my absolute favorite pop-up parade. This cheese say, the quality is just impeccable, I think. And these are all set as regulars. Look at it, it's just absolutely beautiful. They did a magnificent job in this, and I thought it was such a incredible cost-effective figure. And look, they even have metal pegs on the bottom too. And maybe that depends on the company giving them licensing, or the manufacturer they're working with, depending on the licenses again that approve these. But you'd think, because this is all part of the same line, pop-up parades, you'd think they would go for consistent quality. Now, on a lower drop, I was so disappointed with this albedo figure, and it's just because of the quality. At least her pegs fit in, but overall, for the price I paid for her, I would expect a better finished job. So my main issue is this. Can you see this massive seam? The light's just catching it. It goes all the way down her leg. And the size is not the issue, but it's just that it has this beautiful pose, and with the skin showing like this, you have these ugly seams that is just disrupting it. And you saw on the dress too, has some visible seams going all the way up the arm, and has this ugly cut-off point at the shoulder as well. And it's just disappointing because like the hair quality on this is beautiful. I don't mind the texture on the horns for it. I'm trying to understand, it is meant to be an affordable figure, but even like the necklace does not, it has like a position it's meant to sit in, and it doesn't. Oh, and this little hair that's on the paint job, that if I remove that hair, it's going to peel off and ruin it. So I was devastated when I got her. I haven't reviewed her yet, but this is the latest pop-up parade I got, and I got this last year when she just came out. I didn't pre-order her because I was late watching, but you can tell the beads were just very messily painted. I got one of these for my best friend, and hers at least had a better paint job. And there's also seams on the sleeve, and then you can see the pegs on the base. I can push it in. Oh, I better not use my nail this way. Oh good, I didn't. If I push it in, see, it's flush there. There we are. But I let go and it rises up, and I just feel like, because I paid $68 for this, not even including postage, and not even a year later they've just announced a re-release. I'm happy for collectors who missed out, but the re-release is priced at 45 AUD dollars, and my prices I'm getting off Ami because that's where I mainly shop. So that just feels like a smack in the face for supporting them initially for it. Just feels so unfair, and puts me off pre-ordering pop-up parades at the chance of missing out. I mean, why would we have incentive to get pop-up parades when even looking at this masterpiece Taito figure, which I got including shipping for $50 AUD. She is stunning, and despite I did accidentally break her wing peg, but I will fix it when I can. Despite that, I am addressing just the differences of this in quality. Yes, we've got a prize figure that has seams, but the seams are in all the right places. And even though I prefer the hair on the pop-up parade, the hair on this Taito figure is still just gorgeous. And as far as ticking the boxes for affordable and quality and true to the prototype design, Taito just wins tenfold in this. It also, I just feel like it feels like a better part of the pop-up parade sets. I'm glad with the new armor version of albedo that just went up for pre-order, the large size, which I'm debating if I should order or not. Part of me just really wants to, but like, see, even in the lineup, you'd think what looks a part of the series, and it's definitely not this one. Pop-up parades are so hit and miss, and I think it is something that Good Smile definitely have to address, especially with all these incredible prize figures coming out. Talking of which, this is from the Deform Plus series by El Coco, and I think El Coco is killing it as far as prize figures at the moment. And I'm surprised Good Smile haven't spoken up by how close this resembles a Nendoroid, and this is, sure, it's prize figure quality. I got this from $12 off of buy. Obviously I bundled it with other things, so didn't count the postage, but look how cute she is. She comes with 2 faceplates, alternative hand, and a lower half so she can stand, and a working stand at that. Good Smile can't even do that. And look at her wings, they also fit in well and they can move with their limitability, but they don't fall out. And the sculpt is so much prettier as well. I think they only have a few limited designs. I have this one and the Tanya de Graaf one. And sure, the quality isn't as beautiful as a Good Smile, but as far as cost effectiveness and giving me as much joy as having an Nendoroid, I think it is a great alternative and definitely some competition. Talking of El Coco, I actually just got one of their first scale figures, and that is an Alberta one. She's sitting right here. I just cannot wait to share you the unboxing of this figure. She is the same price as the Pop-Up Parade dress version that so disappointed me. So the fact that this is listed as a scale figure and just looks so cheeky and divine, I cannot wait to unbox this and compare. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video. I'm so sorry it's negative this week, but the experience needs to be shared. Anyway, I hope you take care, treat yourself, and I'll catch you next week with a more happier video, I believe. Bye!